What's going on, bros, hoes, and people I don't know? This is Where's Gucci Mane, and we are back for another video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. I was just on my Instagram live, and I told my followers, I'm like, yo, let's go ahead, let's go over to YouTube, and let me make a video about what's going on. And a lot of you guys have been DMing me, telling me, and I know I'm horrible with the DMs, I'm going through them. Please be patient with me. But y'all been DMing me about Bobbi Brown's sister, and y'all said she has been really talking about things and experiences that she went through, and her recollection of what really went on with her niece, Bobbi Kristina, with her ex-sister-in-law, Whitney Houston, and with her nephew, Bobby Brown Jr. Now, if you guys know, hey guys, if you guys know the history of Whitney Houston, she passed first, then Bobbi Kristina, then Bobby Brown Jr. I really wanted us to just basically dissect everything that Bobbi Brown's sister, Leola Brown, has been talking about. I'm getting this from her own YouTube channel. It's called Leola Brown, The Absolute Truth. So make sure you guys go follow her. And we're just going to get right into it.
We died of a drug overdose. That is not true. The death of Whitney Houston, Bobbi Kristina, and Bobby Brown Jr. I am going to set the record straight today. I know that it's many people in the world that think and believe that Whitney or Bobbi Kristina or little Bobby died of a drug overdose. That is not true. I'm going to set the record straight tonight, today. Right now it is about 9:01 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, and today's date is September the 27th. Now, I'm going to set the record straight, and I don't want to hear nobody no more. Media, this is to you too. I'm going to let you all know how they was all found.
I put the best ingredients in these products because
Okay, let's start with my niece. We're going to start there.
I want to pause because, as we all know, and I'm going to just bring this up just to show for those that come in the future and look at this video. I want to show you guys what they said Whitney Houston's cause of death was. So they reported, Whitney Houston passed February 12th. And that was the night of the Grammys. That was the whole thing with Nicki Minaj doing that performance. It says February 12th, Whitney Houston died in the bathtub at a Beverly Hills hotel shortly before Clive Davis' pre-Grammy party. A coroner report released in March stated that the cause of death was accidental drowning with heart disease and cocaine use listed as contributing factors. So they're saying the cause of death is an accidental drowning, but if it's an accidental drowning, why did you bring up cocaine, this and that? So they're trying to basically say that her heart disease probably was caused by drug use, which caused something with the heart for her to drown in the tub. Y'all telling me a grown woman, you know how many people that allegedly, I'm not saying Whitney Houston did or didn't do drugs, because Whitney Houston said crack is cheap. You understand me? She said, I can afford better things than crack. I respect it. My thing is this. How many people have been using drugs over the years and have never drowned in the tub? You ain't say she drowned in the pool. She didn't drown at the hotel pool. She didn't drown at the lake. You saying this grown woman drowned in the tub. Fuck out my face.
Because, and the reason I'm starting with her, because after I did my investigation, I believe that Bobbi Kristina was the aim first. Bobbi Kristina was the aim, and they wanted to kill Whitney afterwards while she was at that Beverly Hills.
And I could see them wanting Bobbi Kristina going first. I could see where she's coming from, for the simple fact that if Whitney and Bobby Brown, Bobbi Kristina is the child of two legends. So if her mother passed away, she would own all of that. She would be entitled, because Whitney Houston wasn't married at the time, so her sole or her only child, would be entitled to everything. So I want to show you what they said Bobbi Kristina's cause of death was, just so we can have some background. So it says on January 31st, Bobbi Brown was found unconscious in the bathtub in her home, which was similar to the fate of her mother. Pay attention, they made sure they put that in there. They love to put the fact that their fate was the same. They both died in the tub, right? Okay. After being in a coma for nearly 6 months, Brown died from lobar pneumonia. So they said she died from pneumonia. So they did say that Nick Gordon was found liable in the death of his former partner, Bobbi Kristina, in September 16. So this whole thing is a mess.
They wanted to say that they found Bobbi Kristina in the bathtub, and then Whitney Houston committed suicide, but that is not true. That is not true. None of that happened. None of that happened. Bobbi Kristina came out of the bathtub at the Beverly Hilton.
So basically what she's saying, in my opinion, is that the narrative was supposed to be Whitney Houston finds Bobbi Kristina gone, and then she takes her own life. That was supposed to have been the narrative, in her opinion.
Okay, but she was the first one found at the Beverly Hilton. Yes, you all didn't know that, but I have a lot of stuff coming out in the book. But I'm going to briefly tell you, I'm going to set the record straight and let you know that Whitney fought for her life. Bobbi Kristina fought for her life. Bobby Jr., I don't know. I don't know if he fought too hard, because I think he was just tricked. Somebody spiked his drink or food or something, because little Bobby Jr. was clean. Okay? Seriously. Okay, now let's start with, let's start with Whitney. We're going to start with Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston's body told anybody upon looking at it that it was foul play. Okay, don't get it twisted. No, Whitney Houston, I counted at least 10 gashes in her chest alone. She had marks up and down her legs. Her fingernails were chipped. Her face was busted out. It was blown up. Yes, as if somebody was punching her in the face. Whitney Houston fought for her life. Yes, she did. Excuse me, let me have a drink of water. Whitney fought for her life. Whitney had skin taken off her back. There was so many things wrong with Whitney's body. I mean, it told anybody. And like I said, her security, Ray, told me that room, Whitney's room, looked like a tornado hit it. So it was a fight. It was a struggle. Okay?
I want to pause on Whitney's room. Because if y'all recall, Pusha T used the image of Whitney Houston's room as his album cover. Kanye West paid $85,000 to use the photo. So, remember, this was the room. Remember a couple years ago it came out that this was the room? They had all type of pictures and photos. Everybody was kind of, they was trying to see what was all in there. They didn't put the residue. They didn't, set it up to look a certain way. But remember when these photos were released? Kanye West paid $85,000 to license a photo of Whitney Houston's drug-filled bathroom for the cover of Pusha T's new album Daytona, which released today. The image, which was taken in Houston's Atlanta home in 2006 after an alleged drug binge. So I want y'all to pay attention to this. Features a multitude of drugs and paraphernalia. Pusha T told Angie Martinez Thursday that West, who produced the entire album, changed the artwork at the very last minute. He changed my artwork at 1 in the morning. He paid for the artwork out of pocket. So I want y'all to pay attention to this photo, because when they had this photo come out, they didn't specify. They made it seem as though this was the photo of Whitney's hotel of her death. You get what I'm saying? But in fact, this is from 2006. So I just want you to pay attention to the narratives that are created, because literally they released this. You see, this is May 25th, 2018, because that's when Pusha T's album came out. So, but the way media spun it, they made it seem as though at the time, because I remember this, because everybody thought this was the room from when she passed. So I just want y'all to make note of that.
Okay, yes it was. Pat knew this, Gary knew this, but they also did something else. When before the authorities got there to the hospital with Whitney, Pat and Gary staged the scene. Yes, I have an eyewitness that was there, that watched them go in and out of the room after Whitney's body laid there, and they were taking things out.
Get your 2023 Cedar Point Gold Pass and get unlimited visits the rest of this fall and all of next.
From one room to the next. Pat and Gary did this. So Whitney's body definitely denoted that there was foul play. Okay? All of her bruises told us what happened in that room. Whitney fought for her life. There was no drugs in her system. The coroner report states that there was no drugs in Whitney Houston's system. Okay? So let's stop saying that she died of an overdose. I'm sick of seeing that in the media. That's not the case with Whitney. No, she didn't have any drugs in her system. Bobbi Kristina was beaten in her living room. Go and look at.
I just want to pause because Bobby Brown's sister said neither Bobbi Kristina nor Whitney had drugs in their system. But if you pay attention, they tried to use the narrative of drugs in both of their deaths.
The police report. Bobbi Kristina was beaten in her living room by Nick Gordon. He beat her down with Danielle in her condo, Max Lomas, and Danielle. What's Danielle's last name? I got it coming out in the book, but that's okay. Danielle, who was somebody that Chrissy was not even friends with anymore. Okay, so what was she doing in my niece's house? Yeah, we're talking about all this in the book. Nick beat Chrissy down into like a fetal position. She was screaming and crying, asking him why was he doing this to her, because she didn't know.
So I like to put faces with names. I got this from People magazine. Max Lomas, who discovered Bobbi Kristina Brown unconscious dead of reported overdose. Pay attention, he is now deceased. So we have Bobby Brown Jr., Bobbi Kristina, Whitney Houston, Nick Gordon, Max Lomas, the one that found Bobbi Kristina overdose. So all these people on drugs, child. Max Lomas, the man who found the late Bobbi Kristina Brown floating unconscious in her bathtub back in 2015, has died under eerily similar circumstances. They keep telling y'all it's all similar. Y'all don't see it? They keep on saying the same thing. All these people is just a coincidence, and y'all know we don't do coincidences. All these people overdosed on drugs. Okay. According to the death investigations papers from the Mississippi State Medical Examiner obtained by People, the 28-year-old was found by a friend in the bathroom of a home in Saltillo, slumped over a toilet with a syringe nearby. Lomas had been seen alive by the friend 10 minutes earlier. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead, the papers state. A cause of death has not been determined for Lomas, but toxicology reports, which take 6 weeks, are pending. The coroner told People Lomas' death is being investigated as a probable overdose. The papers state heroin was listed as a suspected drug in play. Lomas went to rehab. She never regained consciousness. Okay, hold on. Loma's friend Bobbi Kristina died July 26, 2015 at age 22. The duality of 22, the number 22. She had never regained consciousness after Lomas found her in that bathroom and spent a nightmare 6 months of medically induced comas and hospice stays. Lomas had lived off and on with Bobbi and Whitney Houston's daughter, as well as her boyfriend Nick Gordon, and previous told people drugs, party, and fights and immense pain were constants in her life. The weeks before it was brutally cut short. We were all pretty bad into drugs, Lomas told people exclusively in July of 2016, describing his Bobbi Kristina and Gordon's life together at a townhouse in Russell, Georgia, following her mother's death. Like Gordon, Lomas says he was taken in by Houston as a troubled teen. They keep making it seem like Whitney, where did these people come from? So Whitney just had a foster home. Foster's home for imaginary children. Stop playing with me. Where did these people come from? So basically Lomas was going to the fact of how he spaced, things were shaky. Said Lomas admitted he was using drugs that night. They were just trying to stay out of each other's way. He said an intense argument ensued between Gordon and Bobbi Kristina. They was accusing each other of being unfaithful. So I just wanted to do a little background. He's deceased as well. This is the person she's referring to. I'm going to try to find the other lady she's talking about.
But it was a setup. It was a setup to her. Because she didn't know. But it was a setup. It was a setup. Yes. Nick was told not to let her go out of that house and to do whatever it was he got paid to do that for. Okay? Yeah, that's the deal. Nick Gordon was not somebody that grew up with Bobbi Kristina either. No, he was not. He did not grow up with her. Nobody never met him. Bobby, my brother, never met Nick. Okay, Nick was brought into the picture after Bobbi and Whitney's divorce. Okay, so right before Whitney was murdered, Nick was brought into the picture. Okay, and if you ask me who would bring him in, I would tell you Pat Houston. Yes.
I just want to talk about Nick Gordon real quick because, again, they have him. He passed in 2020. He was the last one of all those people to pass. Nick Gordon, former boyfriend of Bobbi Kristina, died from a heroin overdose. According to Florida's Districts 5 and 24 medical examiner's office, the cause of death was ruled as a heroin toxicity. According to the autopsy report, Gordon died in Somalia country on January 1st at the age of 30. Is Nick Gordon really deceased? That's what I want to think about. Is he really deceased? Because my thing is, if he was sent there for an agenda to cause that dysfunction and do those type of things, they might not have took out their own people. You know, he may be used again. But it's Pat always, and Pat the oldest one, still kicking. Pat gave Whitney the Clive child. Right, Pat and Clive is the they 172, but all these people that died, they still kicking, child.
Yes, she set everything up. Okay, we gonna talk today. We gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to you. Divorce. Okay, so right before Whitney was murdered, Nick was brought into the picture. Okay, and if you ask me who would bring him in, I would tell you Pat Houston. Yes. She set everything up. Okay, we gonna talk today. We gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to you because it's obvious that Pat brought him in. And when Nick did that to Bobbi Kristina and she was rushed to the hospital, because after he beat her and drug her up them steps, he shot her up with something and threw her in the bathtub.
Dragged her up and
and knocked her teeth out of her mouth. Yes, my sister Tina's here with me right now.
Hitting every step.
Reminding me of things. Okay, so yes, Nick did all that. Also, I was getting ready to say something. After Nick did all that to Bobbi Kristina, He was on, I wanted to get his story. So my nephew, Gerard Brown, called him, and he was on a tape. He said, when Gerard, and I had 10 people in my living room. Some of Whitney's family was there, and the Browns were there, and some of my friends. So there are plenty witnesses. They all heard Nick on the tape. Gerard is on the phone with him. And he asked, what happened? Tell me what happened. How did Chrissy end up in the bathtub? And he just went to talking all hysterical, and he was scared. He said, I'm not going down for this. I'm not going down for this. He said, I'm not going down for this one. He said, I saved Pat with Whitney. I'm not going down. I'm not going down for Chrissy, because I already saved Pat with Whitney. So what did he save you for, Pat? How did he save you? How did he save you, huh? Is that why he's not living right now? I don't know. Talk to me. Because Nick is no longer here to tell the story. Okay?
Told it wrong anyway.
So we're going to keep this real. We're going to keep this real.
Let's keep it real, sis.
All right? And I'm going to say this. I hope that you all don't think that I'm talking with anger right now. I'm just being passionate about this, because I am so tired of seeing the media talk about Whitney Houston. They're writing up things. They keep saying that she was murdered. She murdered, death by overdose. No, Whitney Houston didn't have any drugs in her system. Okay, so, and neither did Bobbi. Bobbi Kristina was beaten into that bathtub, and then when she entered the hospital, she snapped out of the coma quickly. She was not in a coma for a long time. No, Bobbi Kristina, every single time I walked in her room, me and my sister Tina together, Bobbi Kristina was up. Her eyes were wide open. And I asked the nurse or doctor, I said, she never sleeps. She was always aware and up. She wanted to know who was in her room, and she looked you dead in your face. And when I walked in the room to see her, she said, She was so excited to see me. She kept trying to talk to me. The doctors saw this. They were like, oh my God, she's so excited to see you. She was trying to communicate with me.
So they said Bobbi Kristina died because pneumonia and lack of oxygen resulting in brain damage. They said she was found in the water tub filled bathtub. So this is another report with a mix of drugs and alcohol in her system. She spent 6 months in a coma before she died. So it says, how long was Bobbi Kristina on life support? They said she was on life support for 6 months. So how did she have brain damage and doing all this? From what the aunt is saying, she could not speak, but motor skills and things like that were intact. She was eating. The aunt's going to say, because I did hear this portion of the video, how she was eating popsicles. I'm going to go to TMZ to see what they said. So they said she was put in a medically induced coma. Also, pay attention how TMZ always put Bobbi Kristina dead. Anytime TMZ put dead like that, I always think it's something off with that, because there's no respect for the person. Like, even if I'm going to announce that somebody went on, it's a way to do it. I feel like when they put dead, it's a dramatic, they want you to know, like, hey. So they said, so hold on. I want to go back to what Bobbi Brown's aunt said. Bobbi Kristina aunt claims she's off life support. Bobbi Kristina aunt is clarifying Bobbi Brown's comment that she was awakened from her coma. Bobbi Brown's sister Tina posted on Facebook, Bobbi woke up and is no longer on life support. God is good. Thanks for your prayers. Still a process, but she is going to be okay. Pay attention. So this is another aunt. This isn't even Leola who we watching now. We're watching the aunt Tina. They said TMZ. They said right on Facebook, the aunt said she came out of the coma. So this is April 20th. So this 420. And they said she's been in a coma since January. So how was she in a coma for 6 months? That's only really 3 months technically. She said January 31st, so we're gonna go to February 1st to April. Well, really 2 months to April. We're going February to April because the family says she woke up out the coma. And my thing is, whenever the family members shared that might not even be the exact moment she woke up out the coma. It could have been a week prior, but maybe they waited to share with the public. You get what I'm saying? So now, how she come out the coma? But read what TMZ said. If it's true, it's a stunning turn. Pay attention, y'all. Given that the doctors told the family there was no real hope. But that's not what Leola Brown said. Leola Brown said that the doctor said she was going to make it. So isn't that interesting how the media will put the narrative out here that this girl was not going to make it when in fact I'm so glad that the Tina spoke on this at the moment so we can go back and confirm that it's going right with what the other aunt said. She was going to survive. But the fact that TMZ said, if true, it's a stunning turn, like as if we thought she was out of here for real. Child, pay attention. They be setting these people up.
But she couldn't talk. But she was up. Bobbi knows this. Bobbi Kristina was up every single day. That girl was scared to go to sleep. She was up watching TV. Bobbi would sometimes come to her room and feed her popsicles and okay. So let's get out of that. Y'all, you got that idea in your head that my niece was in a coma and she was not aware and she was unresponsive. And yes, she was like that, of course, in the beginning. But she came out of that. Bobbi Kristina was strong. And Dr. Jolly showed them where he could bring her brain back 100%. The doctors had even told us she would be fine.
But TMZ said the doctors told the family. How you all know what the doctors told the family? You ain't even quoting none of the family. Pay attention. They didn't even quote any of the family saying that. They didn't say, well, Leola said or Bobbi Brown said or Tina said. Y'all just speculated what the doctors told them because Leola Brown is saying something different and Tina said something completely different. So the lies the media.
After about 6 months, they said it will be a little slow process, but she's doing wonderful. It wasn't until the Houstons came into that hospital after Bobbi Kristina communicated to her father that she did not want none of them near her bed. But they came in there and they did something to my niece. There's no way I'm going to let somebody tell me that they didn't. They did. Because then there pops up an impersonating nurse. And then Pat was going in the room by her.
She said it was a fake nurse in the room.
Herself all the time. And we didn't know this. She only did it when Bobbi went out of town. Yes. So something was done to my niece because she was supposed to come home with us. Bobbi Kristina was healing, okay? And Bobby Jr., his case, I'm sorry. My nephew was homeless in California, and he called me. And he said, Auntie Lily, I have nowhere to go. I have a friend, a Facebook friend. And this is not somebody that's going to tell a lie for me, so don't think that that's what's going on, because I didn't even know her then. I had just made a Facebook post and said, who's in LA and up right now? Please respond to me. And my friend Tawana in LA responded to me, and she said, I'm up. I said, please call me. And I asked her if she could take my nephew in because he was in the streets in LA. And I had no idea. And I asked him, what happened, little Bobby? He said that his father's wife, Alicia, did not want him in his father's house. And he said, Auntie Lily, I didn't do anything. Little Bobby is a very respectful young man. He said, I don't know why she doesn't want me in the house, so I can't stay with my father, and I don't know nobody in California. I'm just out here in the street. He said, I lost my job. He was working, struggling, trying to get his music on, paying his own way. But the job that he held down, he got fired on because he had an argument or a fight with somebody that kept picking on him about him being Bobbi Brown's son and working a 9 to 5. That's why little Bobby didn't have a job no more. These people kept bothering him every day of his life. And then my friend Tawana.
So, Bobby Brown Jr., he passed away in 2020 like Nick Gordon did. They said he passed of an accidental overdose. All these people just accidentally overdosing, child. They just accidentally overdosing. Let me read y'all comments. Where's Gucci Mane? A cloud blogger, not a truth seeker, don't hide the truth. On period. If you don't hide the truth, tell the truth. That's what I don't understand. Why they not? Failed agenda. I don't know what you're saying. I don't understand why Bobby left her beside her bedside after she was scared of that. Pay attention to that, because I said the same thing, Valerie. If Bobbi Kristina let y'all know that she did not trust the Houston side of the family, why did y'all let that motherfucker in the hospital? Numbers don't lie. Numbers do not lie. How do I make you a mod? Did I make you a mod? I don't know how to do it. Y'all know. Did I make you a mod? I don't know, y'all. Y'all gotta help me. I agree. They didn't. I can't believe Bobby didn't hire somebody to stand by Bobbi Kristina. Right. Especially after they let you know they said they were uncomfortable. Look, I put a little star on there. What did that do? Look, I don't know what the star did. I think I have to do it via YouTube. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna look on YouTube on how I make y'all moderators and stuff like that. Cause you see all the spam people. I'm like, where these spam people coming from, girl? But I don't get it either, y'all. Your daughter tells you, you know she's uncomfortable with that side of the family. So I don't get it. I don't either. I really don't understand, y'all. I can't say. So this is Bobby Brown Jr. So I just wanted to show you while she was talking to the object of Bobby Brown Jr. It's sad. It's really unfortunate.
Takes him in. I sent him money. I cashed up him money for food and the things that he needed. I thanked Tawana for keeping him, and she went and picked him up in LA and everything and brought him to her house. It was days after that little Bobby was found dead in a condo that is in Alicia's name. And he wasn't found dead until my brother Bobby left LA and came to Atlanta, and we were having dinner in a restaurant together. And little Bobby FaceTimed his father, and we were all sitting there looking at Bobby. Little Bobby looked so healthy and clean. He didn't look like he had ever did a drug in his life. And the next day he was dead. Oh yes, this is what happened, you all. Come on. So there's foul play with everybody, especially Whitney and Chrissy. Whitney was most definitely murdered. Bruises all up and down her legs, her fingernails were chipped, her lip was busted, her face was swollen like somebody was punching her in the face. Her cousin called me. I went to the body viewing. I flew into New York, went to my hotel.
I couldn't agree. That's what I don't get. And so I believe Bobby was in on sacrificing her too, because it don't make sense. If y'all know that she was uncomfortable with the other side, why y'all even allow him in there?
And just as I'm getting ready to go to her body viewing, Whitney's cousin called me screaming and crying. She said, Lily, who?
Yep, Alicia, Bobby Brown. We knew, y'all. Remember, we had talked about Bobby Brown before. When Bobby Brown, remember when he had that car accident. And this is the same sister, Leola, who had spoke on it. And the whole family, remember the whole family had spoke on how they did not like Alicia, Bobby Brown's new wife. And now his sister is saying that she put his son out. But mind you, I've been told y'all where's Bobby Brown. Remember I kept asking, I said, where's Bobby Brown? Because it kept on, the faces was looking a little different to me. I kept on saying this, especially around that car accident time. So I just want y'all to pay attention to that. The new wife put the son out. And then I do want to discuss right quick while we here. Yes, Bobby Brown got hit by a speeding car while walking, and no, he was not in the car accident. This was from the sister's Facebook. And I was telling you guys about car accident. This was from Leola's Facebook. This car came straight for him and tried to damn kill him. Broke his bones. Both his legs are messed up. And whoever says he was inside of a car is a damn liar. My brother was walking down the street and a car came straight for him and hit him to kill him. They report every damn thing else he's ever done in his damn life. So why did not anyone, including his so-called wife, go to the press with that one? Why did you not want that to leak out? Yeah, I know why. Oh yes, the hell I do. And you can say what you will. I care not. But I tell you what I do care about. My brother. That's what. And I happen to truly love my brother unconditionally, and better not nothing, and I mean nothing else happened to my brother. You all are not going to kill my whole family and keep thinking you could get away with it. No, not this one. Not on my watch. Who the hell do you think we are? I'm certainly not your punk. This was 2019 when Leola Brown posted this, when Bobby Brown was in that, when he was hit by a car. Media tried to have the narrative he was in a car accident, like as if he was in the car. That's why I be saying pay attention to these car accidents, because they'll be lying. They'll say the celebrity was in the car, might not even been in the car. The sister said he was walking and the car ran up to hit him. But that's not what media said. Now let's just compare, because y'all know I love to compare. Bobby Brown car accident. And then you notice she said that the wife didn't report it. So BET has two articles, right? They got one that says Bobby Brown allegedly struck by a speeding car. Then it says Bobby Brown says he did not get hit by a car. Bobby Brown's, here we go, this is on YouTube. Bobby Brown allegedly hit by a car. His sister said it was not an accident. He was a target. She said the incident was intentional and has now left the R&B veteran with broken bones and other injuries. So this is basically, they're going to be reposting what I just read her Facebook post was to be. So I just want to confirm with you guys, this been going on. The sister been talking. This is 3 years ago. She said that it was, they tried to hit her brother with a car on purpose.
She said, I just seen Nippy and her face is all big. It popped up and busted up like somebody punched her in the face. Yes, they had Whitney laying in the casket like that. But you could see her then at the body viewing, but the funeral, they had a closed casket on Whitney because she was so messed up.
Okay. It seems like Leola popped in and out of that world right now.
No,
and I can say this, Leola be on Facebook though. I'm gonna say that. It's just, for me, it be what go viral and what don't. You get what I'm saying? For example, Leola posted this September 28th. It has 334,000 views. Let me move this so y'all can see. It has this video has 334,000. I have not, besides you guys DMing me this, I have not seen a major platform post this or talk about it. And this has 300,000 views. And Leola be on Facebook, and it's just we don't follow her, so I don't know. But I do see what you're saying about how Jaguar Wright and them, they kind of go in and out. Jag definitely go in and out. I want to say Leola does because Leola's active on Facebook. But I'm glad that Leola did make her own YouTube. Like you said, I wish Jaguar Wright would have did the same thing. Make your own YouTube and tell your story. Get your coin off of what you live, you know, versus going to another person's platform, getting them the cents and the dollars, and then you get nothing but called crazy. Versus at least when you have your own platform, call me crazy and then give me the views and give me my coins, okay? So I'm here for it. Bobby's wife is his handler. She runs by. Yes, she does, and we all see it. We're on the outside looking in. We all on the outside looking in, and we know she definitely
murdered. Her room looked like a tornado hit it. So Whitney was fighting for her life. Why didn't her brother Gary and Pat get in the media and tell that? Why? Why didn't they reveal that to the public, that somebody murdered Whitney? I know why.
They did it.
Okay? So no, Whitney Houston was murdered. Let's get that straight. Bobbi Kristina was murdered by Pat Houston. Yes. She did not want Chrissy to come out of hospice. First of all, I believe she put Bobbi Kristina there. In hospice. She wanted her to leave that hospital and go directly into hospice because Chrissy was coming home with us. The nurses said that she would be fine. We could take her home and she would be fine. Give it about 6 months. But then she ends up going into hospice? Somebody did something to my niece. Oh yeah. And it's easy. It's obvious to figure out what's really going on. Impersonating nurse. Where is she? She better be in jail. She better be in jail. Yes. I wanted to talk to you all and let you all know this. Because there are no drugs involved with none of their bodies. No, none of them. It might have been found in little Bobby's body, but that was because it was put there. Little Bobby wasn't getting high off of nothing. No, and Bobbi Kristina, she cried out for somebody to help her. And that boy, Max Lomez, and that girl, Danielle, sat there and let Nick beat her up like that. And stomp her and drag her up those steps without even calling 911 or trying to get him off of her. None of them helped her. So they was not her friends. No. They were trying with Bobbi Kristina. They tried to put her in the bathtub in the Beverly Hilton at first. Then, on top of that, when Chrissy didn't die, when she got home after Whitney was found, they planted a knife in her tire for her to have a car accident. They planted that. I have evidence. Bobbi Kristina was a good driver, by the way. They forced her into that car to drive it. So she had an accident, lost control, because they stuck a knife in the tire. Oh yeah, they were trying their best to kill Chrissy. All of this for Whitney Houston's estate. Yes. You can believe it if you want to. You don't have to. You can take it or leave it. But that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Yes. And these are our people. Our people. Of course, it may be somebody else involved.
Car crash, January 27th. They was after that girl. She not the auntie not lying. They was trying to, like she said, all of Whitney Houston's estate, cause Clive wanted, cause Pat gonna give it to Clive. So clearly, whatever paperwork, cause you know how they get them people in them bad deals. Whatever deal Whitney must have signed, it must have somehow still left her child some money. Because my thing is this. If the deal was so horrible, you wouldn't even need to offer because the deal was so bad. Y'all own Whitney shit anyway, so it don't even matter. So it must have been, Whitney must have signed a good deal to where her daughter was still going to get some type of money. So all of a sudden the car crash, It says she lost control. She was driving a Jeep Liberty, crashing into a gray Ford Taurus. The driver of the Ford and the passenger in her Jeep were injured and transported to the hospital, according to Roswell, Georgia police. The crash reportedly caused severe damage to both vehicles. Brown blamed the crash on a blown out tire. So again, Brown was not hurt. So again, her aunt said they did something to the tire. Bobbi Kristina sued. They sued her. See how they was trying to get child, not $700. Now I know you get a car accident, The person tried to sue her because they knew that was Whitney Houston's daughter, right? Tried to sue her for $730,000 because of a car accident. Read the title. Man filed $730,000 lawsuit against Bobbi Kristina over car accident that happened 3 days, the number 3 days before she was found unconscious in the tub. They've been trying to, like she said, they was trying to kill her in the car accident, and it didn't work. That's some crazy stuff.
It probably is. I don't have proof of. Everybody wants to say, well, it was Clive that ordered it. That may be so, but I don't have that proof of that. I have proof of things that Pat Houston did. Nick Gordon, Gary Houston, Ray J.
And Ray J did something
to my niece. And I'm going to tell you all about that.
She got a video on that too, y'all.
Yes, they were all involved. There were too many people running around that hotel doing things to my sister and my niece. I'm so sorry, you all. But it's the truth. As God is my witness. So I'm trying to just set the record straight and let you guys know that I don't want people lying to you. And you thinking that, no, they died from overdoses and stuff. No, that didn't happen. Whitney Houston never got in bathtubs. Anyway, I've said that in the beginning.
No, not no
I
hotel.
let you all know that.
Not no hotel.
No. I was very serious.
You know what? I'm going to believe you because I love a hotel, but baby, I ain't never took a bath in no hotel. Took a shower. I ain't never took no bath in no hotel. Have y'all? Who takes baths in hotel? I'll take a shower, which I would never take a bath in a hotel. Never have.
And I've been saying this since day one. I knew it was something wrong. Well, first of all, the red flags raised with me when I saw Pat Houston on Oprah, looking Oprah in the face and lying to her, saying that she was Whitney's manager. No, Pat Houston, as God is my witness, she is not Whitney's manager, never was. And anybody that's allowing her to lie like that has to be down with it.
Beat the lingo from here. They down too. Come on, Leola. They down with it. They down with it. So Leola's saying Oprah cool with it too. Pay attention.
Hi.
We know Harpo. We know Harpo and her ugly feet down. We already know about Harpo, child.
That's you guys. We're gonna have to face some facts with all due respect to each and every one of them that I mentioned. I don't hate anybody. I just hate wrongdoing. That's all. I hate wrongdoing done by us, our own people, doing this to us. We have to stop this.
I agree. We sell our people out for money.
Everybody. You got that right. Leola has that kind of heart. I have to forgive them because they are my brothers and sisters. I have to do that. If I say that I'm a believer in God, I have to do that. So yes, I forgave Pat Houston. I forgave Gary Houston. I forgave Ray J. I forgave everybody. I forgave Nick Gordon. I forgave everybody for what they did. But that does not mean that they won't be punished by God. That doesn't mean that. I just have to have my heart right because they are my brothers and sisters.
Are you driving way less than you used to? Not have a DUI?
But yes, they did do this. They did some evil things to Bobbi, Kristina, and Whitney. And it's very wrong, and it needs to be told. The truth needs to be told. At the end of the day, no matter who doesn't like it, no matter who doesn't believe it, it is still going to stand as the truth. I'm not saying this to try to convince you all. I'm not trying to get you to I'm not trying to sound convincing to you. I'm just telling you the truth. You can take it or leave it. It's up to you. But that is what happened. Whitney Houston had too many marks on her body. You don't find a body with all the skin off, and she had skin off of her back, her foot swollen, and fingernails chipped, bloody lip, puffed out face, marks up and down her body. Whitney, gashes all up and down her chest. And I told you guys, I took her pictures to a professional body kickboxing trainer in Buckhead, Georgia. And she said, Leola, those are kicks. Somebody was kicking Whitney. Whitney had many defensive wounds. Yes, Whitney was fighting for her life in that room, in that hotel room. And Bobbi, Kristina, she fought hard. She didn't want to leave here. She didn't want to leave this world. Pat knew that. And she manipulated the law. How did she get custody over my niece? Half, 50-50 with my brother, her father. Where do they do that at? Somebody that's a stranger to our family. Pat Houston has no blood.
Pat Holland.
Okay? Pat Garland, Watson.
Yeah.
She has no blood. So who gave her 50-50 guardianship? What? I am the one that had legal, full custody, court-ordered, chosen by Whitney. When they threw Whitney up against the wall and said, you got to find somebody to take over Chrissy, full custody, right away, because the judge ordered her into a program. She called me. She said, I'm not doing it with nobody else but my sister Leola. And I came. And I signed papers with Whitney in front of her attorneys. Pat Houston was present. She was there standing in the corner in the dock with her hands just standing there. Yes. They all know this. But I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting over Whitney's estate. I'm not doing that. I'm not fighting nobody over nothing. I'm just speaking the truth. I'm going to tell the truth because I don't fear anybody but God. I'm not somebody that's going to not speak out. That's not who I am. I fear none but Allah. But that is the truth. I had to set the record straight for you all because I don't want you all walking around blindly believing all these lies being told. Whitney Houston suffered. She suffered. And I'm going to tell you in my book how I believe she took her last breath. It's evident. It's evident. And I want to know what Pat Houston and Gary Houston was taking out of them rooms when her body was found. My nephew said they were running back and forth real fast, taking stuff from out of the room, back and forth, from the room that Whitney was found in. What was you all doing, Pat and Gary? Come on now. You don't touch a crime scene. You're not supposed to do that. Your brother Ray, Pat, had already told me the room looked like a tornado hit it. Did it look like that when the authorities came? Or did you and Gary fix the room up for the police so that they could say that, oh, there's no foul play? Is that what you all did? Because you all did that. And you know that's wrong. You cannot tamper with evidence like that. No. And you all just did all of that moving around about freely without any worries. As my sister laid there dead. Well, Nick sure was going to tell on you. Because he said it. He said, I'm not going down for Pat. I saved her with Whitney. So what did he save you about, Pat? What did he save you? What did you do to Whitney? Because you are taller than her. You are much bigger than Whitney. Whitney can fight. I don't know what you can do, but you are tall. But I believe that it was more than one. I believe Whitney had to fight two people. I really do. Something is telling me two people attacked Whitney. At least two people.
Mm-hmm. He had to. She wasn't going out without a fight.
Of course she wouldn't go out without a fight. And you all did all of that to my niece. Don't you know that there's a God? There is a God. And he's a just God. Justice does not sleep with him. No.
Tim Ryan thinks he can throw away his liberal record, but Tim Ryan's 100% support for Biden.
God, I hope that God is resting my sister, my niece, and my nephew. I had to tell you guys what the real deal was. I had to set the record straight because I don't want to hear nobody else say nothing about Whitney Houston and no drugs. Stop it. Stop it. Please. Stop talking about that. And you know what? The media, I was reading something earlier today. I'm going to find out who it was. But I'm going to start suing people. I'm going to start suing you left and right because it doesn't make any sense. Michael Houston sat on Oprah's show with Mama Sissy Houston, and he told the whole world that he was the first one that introduced Whitney to drugs. You all know very well that Bobbi has nothing to do with that. And you all still want to write that up and put that in the media, put that out there to give somebody. I see some YouTube bloggers do that. What is wrong with you all? Bobbi has nothing to do with that. You don't even know what went on in their home. I do. I was there. Yes, I lived with them. Yes, and I watched them throughout the whole time, the whole drug ordeal. Yes. Neither one of them ever put a pipe to their mouth, first of all. Okay? Neither one of them.
Ever. Crack is cheap.
Ever put a pipe to their mouth. You all think you know things and you don't. So Bobbi and Whitney was not crackheads. No, they were not. Never. You all got to stop saying this stuff. Stop it. You don't know what Bobbi did for Whitney. Whitney's father loved my brother, okay? He knew the man that Bobby Brown was for Whitney Houston. And Alicia, to your father may not be pleased with Bobbi, but John Houston, a man of intelligence, loved Bobby Brown. And he loved Bobbi for Whitney, for his daughter, yes. Okay, so your father's opinion does not count. It does not matter with us.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter.
You all need to stop this mess. I'm tired of you all attacking my brother and saying things about him in the media. You don't know him. You don't know Bobby Brown. So keep his name out your mouth, please. Keep his name out your mouth. If you want to say something, say something. I'm going to give you all some good things to say about him in a minute because I'm writing a book about Bobby Brown and all the good things that he's done in his life. All the good and wonderful things that he's done for so many people that we can't even count. We can't even count. And he didn't do small things for them. He did big things for them. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. So stop talking about my brother. Please. Say something nice for a change. Please, God. Because when you talk about people, God doesn't like that. No. No. Especially when you're not speaking the truth.
Right.
It's called gossip. That's what it's called. I'm not gossiping. I'm speaking out. I am defending my family members with truth. And right now, I'm about done with this one. But I have a lot of things that I'm going to share with this world. I'm sorry. I'm getting ready to shock you guys. I'm coming. And every day, I'm going to put out a video. Every day I'm going to come, even if I say just a little bit. You're going to hear from Leola. Excuse me. You're going to hear from Leola. Yes. May all of you have a wonderful evening. I just wanted to get that out and let you know that no, Whitney Houston, Bobbi Kristina Brown, and Bobby Brown Jr. did not have any drugs in their system that killed them. No, there was no drugs in their system. That little Bobby Jr. didn't have anything in his system that he put in personally.
Right.
No, somebody gave him something.
Right.
Somebody gave Bobbi Kristina something. Whitney? Wait until this book comes out and you hear about Whitney Houston. You have no idea what this book is about. But I'm going to tell you all, it's the best book ever written. The best written. Oh yeah, because it's all truth. Have a blessed evening. I love all of you guys. Bye.
Alright, y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Bye. I was
So back up.